Arthur was 68 when his digestion stopped working. Not a slow decline, but a complete shutdown over 48 hours. He was rushed into my surgical wing because the emergency room thought his intestine had twisted. When I opened him up, his bowel was perfectly intact, but it was completely paralyzed. His gut microbiome had been absolutely obliterated by decades of routine prescriptions and poor dietary guidance. As someone who spent years in the operating room, I often start by sharing a real, terrifying story of an ordinary patient just like Arthur, or by debunking a dangerous popular belief. I know you are likely tired of 10-minute consultations where the doctor only prescribes yet another medication. You are told that expanding waistlines, extreme fatigue, and chronic digestive issues are just normal parts of getting older. But that rushed approach ignores a silent, rapidly growing threat happening inside your body right now. As we pass our 60th birthdays, our digestive tracts rapidly lose their natural defenses. The result is a toxic cascade that triggers rampant inflammation, packs dangerous visceral fat around your liver, and systematically drains your vitality. I know what truly keeps you awake at night is the profound fear of losing your independence. Terrified that a sudden health crisis or severe medication side effect might leave you bedridden or in a nursing home. But what if the secret to halting this damage and reclaiming your vitality wasn't waiting for you in a pharmacy aisle? What if you could rebuild your gut lining and target that stubborn visceral fat using a single, ancient staple from the Japanese diet? A food so uniquely powerful that it physically blocks fat absorption while feeding the exact beneficial bacteria your body is begging for. You are about to discover exactly what this ingredient is, why the standard medical guidelines have completely missed it, and how adding it to your routine today can fundamentally transform how your body ages. I am Dr. Marcus Caldwell. For over a decade, I have stood on the front lines as a cardiothoracic surgeon. I have opened chests, held beating human hearts in my own hands, and fought desperately to save lives when the traditional medical system failed them. I stepped in front of this camera because I am exhausted by the standard 7-minute consultations that treat you like a number on a hospital spreadsheet instead of a human being with a life, a family, and real concerns. I'm here to give you the honest answers and the dedicated time you actually deserve. If you are ready to stop being rushed out the door and start taking back control of your health, hit that subscribe button right now. Join our growing community of thousands who refuse to just accept physical decline as normal. Because the truth about why your gut and metabolism seemingly shut down after 60 is not what you have been told. And the real culprit behind your digestive struggles is something you have been led to believe is perfectly safe. For decades, the commercial food industry has been playing a very dangerous game with your health, and they have been winning. They have convinced the medical establishment, and by extension you, that the secret to maintaining your digestion and managing your weight as you age is to simply consume more of their heavily processed, fortified products. You have seen the commercials playing constantly on your television. They aggressively market these high-fiber cereal brands, those sugary meal replacement shakes, and supposedly heart-healthy granola bars directly to people over 60. They slap comforting labels like doctor recommended or digestive support on the packaging to make you feel safe. But the harsh reality, the devastating reality I see the effects of when I am scrubbed in for surgery, is that these products are entirely toxic to an aging digestive tract. They are packed with hidden chemical emulsifiers, synthetic preservatives, and highly refined grains that act like absolute sandpaper on your delicate intestinal lining. When you have a rushed, 7-minute consultation with a physician, they simply do not have the time to sit down and audit your grocery list. They are bound by heavily lobbied, outdated nutritional guidelines that were written decades ago by the very same industries profiting from your sickness. So, when you complain about chronic bloating, sudden weight gain around your midsection, or severe digestive distress, they follow the standard broken protocol. They write a quick prescription for a daily antacid. They suggest a harsh chemical laxative, or they simply tell you to eat more of that commercial processed fiber that is actually causing the widespread inflammation. It is a vicious, highly profitable cycle. You consume the toxic food, Your gut lining becomes inflamed and stops absorbing vital nutrients. Your metabolism violently crashes, and then you are handed a pill to mask the symptoms while the root cause continues to silently destroy your vitality from the inside out. I want to look you in the eye right now and tell you something incredibly important. If you're struggling with a digestive system that feels like it has completely stalled, or if you're fighting a losing, exhausting battle against stubborn belly fat despite eating exactly what you were told was healthy, this is not your fault. Let me say that again so you truly hear me. This is not your fault. You did absolutely everything right. You followed the rules. You bought the expensive dietary shakes. You forced down the dry, tasteless brand cereals. You trusted a medical system that you wholeheartedly believed had your best interests at mind. You have been fighting a rigged battle from the start. I know you carry the heavy burden of guilt. You lie awake at night, wondering if this physical decline is a sign of your own lack of discipline. You are terrified that this stalling digestion is just the first step toward a major surgical intervention, a dependency on a handful of pills that will leave your memory foggy, or worse, the loss of your precious independence. Please, let go of that heavy guilt right now. The system failed you. The corporate guidelines failed you. The profit-driven food industry targeted you because you are a loyal consumer. Your biology is not broken and your body has not given up on you. It is simply crying out for the proper, natural support that these artificial products are actively destroying. We are going to stop blaming your age and start looking at the real science. Because once you understand the exact mechanism of this physical destruction, you will realize why this specific Japanese food is the ultimate biological shield. So, what exactly happens to your cellular lining the moment you swallow those processed foods? And how does it directly trigger a massive storage of dangerous visceral fat? To truly understand why your body is hoarding this dangerous belly fat and why your digestion feels completely stalled, we have to look closely at the microscopic biology happening inside your gut right now. When you're in your 20s and 30s, your digestive tract is a fortress. The lining of your intestines is coated in a thick, protective mucosal layer, and the cells are packed tightly together. This barrier is incredibly intelligent. It knows exactly how to absorb the pure nutrients your body needs for energy while aggressively blocking toxins, waste, and excess fats from entering your bloodstream. But as we cross that 60-year mark, a silent biological shift occurs. The natural production of your digestive enzymes dramatically plummets. Your stomach acid weakens. And most critically, that thick protective mucosal layer begins to thin out. Now combine that natural aging process with decades of those processed, heavily marketed foods we just talked about. The chemical emulsifiers and artificial preservatives in those supposedly healthy products act like microscopic razors. They physically slice through your thinning mucosal layer. They attack the tight bonds between your intestinal cells, forcing them to pull apart. In the medical field, we call this increased intestinal permeability. You might have heard it referred to as a leaky gut, but that term sounds far too harmless for the devastation it actually causes. When those cellular bonds break open, your gut loses its ability to filter anything. Suddenly, undigested food particles, harmful bacteria, and concentrated fats bypass your digestive system completely and flood directly into your bloodstream. Your body is brilliantly designed, and it recognizes this flood of foreign material as an immediate, life-threatening attack. Your immune system goes into a state of absolute hyperdrive, triggering a massive wave of systemic inflammation. And this is where the rapid weight gain comes in. To protect your vital organs from this toxic sludge circulating in your blood, your body actively creates a specific type of fat to trap it. This is not the soft, harmless subcutaneous fat that sits right under your skin. This is visceral fat. It is hard, it is highly inflammatory, and it aggressively packs itself deep inside your abdominal cavity. As a cardiothoracic surgeon, I do not just read about visceral fat in medical textbooks. I physically see it, and I have to cut through it. When I open a chest cavity to repair a heart, I can immediately tell if a patient has a compromised gut lining. Instead of healthy, pink tissue, their vital organs are completely suffocated by a thick, yellow, angry layer of this visceral fat. It wraps tightly around the liver, it chokes the kidneys, and it physically constricts the heart muscle. This fat is not just sitting there passively. It functions as an active, toxic gland, constantly pumping dangerous inflammatory chemicals directly into your cardiovascular system. This is precisely why your blood pressure spikes. This is why you feel that profound, heavy fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix. Your body is exhausting all of its energy fighting an internal war that started right inside your compromised intestines. Think of your intestinal lining like a highly advanced, delicate silk coffee filter. When the silk is brand new and tightly woven, it perfectly holds back the bitter, gritty coffee grounds and only allows the smooth, rich liquid to pass through into your cup. That is your gut in your younger years. But as you age, and as you pour harsh, chemical-laden processed foods over that delicate silk day after day, the fabric begins to fray. Tiny tears turn into gaping holes. Now, instead of pure liquid, a dark, muddy, toxic sludge pours directly into the cup. You cannot fix a torn silk filter by just pouring more coffee through it. And you cannot fix a damaged gut lining by just swallowing a chemical laxative or eating more abrasive processed bran. You must physically repair the microscopic tears in the silk. The science backing this up is irrefutable. A groundbreaking study published in the American Journal of Physiology focused entirely on the aging digestive tract. The researchers discovered that targeting and reducing this specific intestinal inflammation in older adults did not just improve their digestion. It directly commanded their bodies to stop producing visceral fat. When the gut lining was supported, the profound systemic inflammation dropped, and the dangerous fat surrounding the liver and heart began to melt away naturally. The body finally felt safe enough to let the fat go. This means that extreme diets, brutal fasting protocols, and exhausting exercise routines are completely useless if you do not first seal the leaks in your intestinal wall. You are just fighting against your own biology. But nature has provided an incredibly elegant, simple solution to this exact problem. There is a specific, widely available Japanese food that acts as biological superglue for your gut lining. It does not just soothe the inflammation, it contains a unique, viscous compound that physically coats the intestinal wall, trapping those harmful fats and toxins before they can ever cross into your bloodstream. So exactly what is this powerful, everyday food? And how can a simple serving of it completely reverse this biological rust and force your body to flush out that stubborn visceral fat? The biological superglue I am talking about is a simple, inexpensive staple that has been the foundation of Japanese health for centuries. It is Wakame, a specific type of brown seaweed. Now, before you dismiss this as just another exotic health fad, you need to understand the profound clinical mechanics of what happens the exact second this seaweed enters your digestive tract. Wakame contains a highly specialized, intensely viscous compound called alginate. When alginate comes into contact with the natural water in your stomach, it does not just dissolve like the harsh, processed commercial fibers do. Instead, it physically transforms into a thick, soothing, protective gel. This gel acts as a temporary, synthetic mucosal lining. It coats the frayed, damaged walls of your intestines, instantly sealing those microscopic leaks we talked about earlier. By physically blocking those cellular tears, the alginate immediately halts the flood of toxins entering your bloodstream, completely shutting down the systemic inflammation that forces your body to hoard visceral fat. Even more incredibly, this gel acts like a biological sponge. As it moves through your digestive tract, it physically binds to excess dietary fats and cholesterol, trapping them inside the gel matrix so they are flushed out of your body naturally, rather than being absorbed and packed around your liver or your heart. Implementing this requires no expensive supplements, no drastic starvation diets, and no exhausting workout regimens. It is a brilliant, natural solution that is incredibly easy to implement immediately and costs almost no money. I have developed a simple, 4-step protocol to maximize the healing power of Wakame for an aging digestive system. Step 1 is the 60-second activation. You can find dried wakame at almost any local grocery store. It is completely inexpensive. Take exactly 1 tablespoon of the dried seaweed and place it in a small bowl. Pour warm, not boiling, water over it and simply let it sit for 60 seconds. In that 1 minute, you will watch the seaweed rehydrate, expand, and release that powerful, viscous alginate. Do not throw away the water it's soaked in, because that liquid is now rich with the exact soluble compounds your gut lining is desperately craving. Step 2 is strategic timing. The medical establishment often ignores the crucial importance of when we consume our nutrients. To create the strongest biological shield against visceral fat, you must consume your activated wakame exactly 15 minutes before your heaviest meal of the day. By introducing the alginate into an empty stomach, you give it the uninterrupted time it needs to coat your intestinal walls and establish the protective gel barrier before the heavy, complex fats and proteins arrive. You are effectively putting armor on your digestive tract before asking it to go into battle. Step 3 involves thermal pairing. When you consume your wakame, you must pair it exclusively with a warm liquid, ideally a cup of warm water or traditional green tea. Never consume it with ice water. Ice-cold liquids aggressively constrict your blood vessels and cause the muscles in your stomach to tense up, severely paralyzing your natural digestive enzymes. Warm liquids, on the other hand, actively dilate your blood vessels, increasing critical blood flow to your stomach lining and allowing the alginate gel to expand smoothly and coat your intestines evenly. It is a minor biological adjustment that exponentially multiplies the healing effect. Step 4 is the law of microscopic consistency. Do not try to eat massive bowls of seaweed in a desperate attempt to heal your gut overnight. Your digestive tract is recovering from decades of trauma, and flooding it with too much fiber, even the healing kind, can cause temporary bloating. You only need that single, consistent tablespoon every single day. It is about gentle, daily repair. Think of it like applying a soothing ointment to a burn. You do not dump the whole tube on at once. You apply a thin, consistent layer every single day until the tissue is fully restored. The science behind why this works is absolutely beautiful in its simplicity. By introducing alginate, you're not forcing your body to do anything unnatural. You're simply giving your biology the exact raw materials it needs to repair its own defenses. When that protective barrier is finally restored, your immune system calls off the inflammatory attack. Your blood pressure begins to stabilize naturally. The brain fog lifts because your system is no longer flooded with unfiltered toxins. And without that constant state of emergency, your body finally feels safe enough to release its grip on that suffocating visceral fat. My mission is to give you the knowledge you need so you can confidently advocate for yourself. You deserve to understand the precise mechanics of your own body, so you never again have to feel powerless against a system that often prioritizes money over health. You have the right to question the endless cycle of prescriptions and demand treatments that address the actual root cause of your suffering. I want you to walk into your next medical appointment not as a passive participant, but as an informed, empowered partner in your own healthcare journey. Armed with this understanding of your gut biology and the clinical power of alginate, you can look your physician in the eye and have a real, substantial conversation about reducing your inflammatory markers naturally. Because at the end of the day, true health is not about simply living longer in a state of chemical dependency. It is about reclaiming your absolute vitality. It is about preserving your physical independence so you can enjoy your life with dignity, free from the terrifying shadow of sudden health crises or the debilitating side effects of endless medications. You possess the incredible power to support your biology and reverse this damage naturally. Now that you hold this knowledge, what is the safest, most effective way to share this with your doctor and ensure they actually listen to you? Now, I need to be absolutely clear with you. The information I share here is general medical education meant to empower you, not a personalized prescription. Please do not suddenly stop taking any of your current medications or cancel any scheduled procedures without speaking to your physician first. Your body is completely unique, and sudden, unmonitored changes can be dangerous. Instead, I want you to write this information down. Take this knowledge about alginate and gut inflammation with you to your next appointment. Use this video as a powerful tool to have a deeper, more informed conversation with your doctor about safely managing your health, protecting your biology, and potentially reducing your reliance on certain harsh prescriptions over time. I need a massive favor from you, and it has absolutely nothing to do with a computer algorithm. I need you to think about your spouse, your sibling, or that dear friend who is silently struggling with exhaustion, stubborn belly fat, or heavy digestion issues right now. They're likely sitting at home, feeling completely overwhelmed, truly believing their body is simply failing them because of their age. They desperately need to hear this truth. Please share this video with them today. Send in a message or an email. You could be the very person who finally hands them the key to reclaiming their independence and breaking free from the terrifying cycle of endless prescriptions. If you're exhausted by rushed, 7-minute consultations and you are ready to take absolute control of your health, hit that subscribe button. Join our growing family of proactive individuals who flat out refuse to be treated like just another number in the system. I also want to hear directly from you. Leave a comment below right now and tell me exactly how long you've been struggling with these digestive issues. Your story validates the heavy struggles of thousands of others reading those comments. But our work here is not quite finished. Repairing your gut lining is a monumental victory, but that dangerous visceral fat we discussed has likely already impacted your cardiovascular system. There's a specific, everyday morning habit that directly triggers silent heart damage, and you're probably doing it tomorrow morning. Click on the video popping up on your screen right here to discover exactly what that trivial habit is and how to stop it today. Click that video right now, and let us continue protecting your vitality together.